नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके Bhaktir-bhavati naistiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 66, text number 17. Krishna tu tat Paundaraka Kashirajayah Balam Gaja Syandana Vaji Patti Mat Gada Asi Chakra Yeshubihi Ardayat Brisham Yatha Yuga Ante Hutabuk Pratak Prajaha. Krishnastu tat Paundaraka Kashirajayor Balam Gajasyandana Vajipattimat Gadasi Chakre Shubir Ardhayat Brisham Yatha Yugante Hutabuk Prutak Prajaha. Krishnastu tat Paundaraka Kashirajayor Balam Gajasyandana Vajipattimat Gadasi Chakre Shubir Ardhayat Brisham Yata Yugante Hutabuk Prutak Prajaha. Krishnastu tat Paundaraka Kashirajayor Balam Gajasyandana Vajipattimat Kadasi Chakre Shubir Ardhayat Brisham Yata Yugante Hutabuk Prutak Prajaha. Please stand. Hey, follow the same tune. Matajis? Krishna, Lord Krishna, tu, however, tat, that, Paundaraka Kashi Rajayo, of Paundaraka and the king of Kashi, Balam, military force, Gaja, elephants, Syandana, chariots, Vaji, horses, Patti, and infantry. Mat, consisting of Gada with his club, Asi, sword, Chakra, disc, Ishubhihi, and arrows, Ardayat, tormented, Vrisham, fiercely, Yatha, as, Yuga, of age of universal history, Ante, at the end, Hutabuk, the fire of universal annihilation, Prutak, of different kinds, Prajaha, living entities. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktin Swami Srila Prabhupada. But Lord Krishna fiercely struck back at the army of Paundaraka and Kashiraja, which consisted of elephants, chariots, cavalry, and infantry. The Lord tormented his enemies with his club, sword, Sudarshan Chakra, and arrows, just as the fire of annihilation torments the various kinds of creatures at the end of a cosmic age. Purport. Actually, this is purport by Srila Prabhupada only. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows in Krishna. The soldiers on the side of King Paundaraka began to shower their weapons upon Krishna. The weapons, including various kinds of tridents, clubs, poles, lances, swords, daggers, and arrows, came flying in waves, and Krishna counteracted them. He smashed not only the weapons, but also the soldiers and assistants of Paundaraka, just as during the dissolution of this universe, the fire of devastation burns everything to ashes. The elephants, chariots, horses, and infantry belonging to the opposite party were scattered by the weapons of Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Yovanta Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prashuptam Sanjivite Klishakti Swadhamna Anyam Stahasta Charana Shravnatvagadibhi Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. After reading the verse and purport, I didn't know what to speak only. There is not much to speak on this verse. Srila Prabhupada said, speak whatever Krishna inspires you. He is in the heart. Right? So this Pondraka, this disease of thinking that I am God, we all have got that. Right? Have you got? Huh? Have you got that disease? Huh? I am God. You think I am God? Huh? After Vritrasura was born, he was rising, expanding. And then all the demigods, they tried to fight with him. And then he was simply eating all the arms, weapons. And then they were very scared, all the demigods. Right? And the demigods were praying to the Lord, that my dear Lord, by your external potency, you create all of us, and then we in turn do little creation. Even though you are present in our hearts, you are always present in our hearts, but still we cannot see you, because each and every one of us think that I am God. Right? So Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarver aham avedyo vedantakrit veda videha chaham. Right? Krishna is right there in our heart. But why we cannot see him? Because not want to. I think I am God. Right? So, how many of you are able to see God in your heart? Please raise your hands. Huh? But even he is present right now, right? If we open our heart with surgery, we should be able to see him. But we cannot see him because I think I am God. Avajananti mamuda manushim tanumashritam parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that even though Krishna was present on this earthly planet for many years, nobody was able to recognize him because everybody is thinking that I am God. So in Krishna book, Prabhupada writes very strong words about Pondraka. He said, such rascals, there are many such rascals, who are adored by some other rascals, and they think that I am God. And they believe in the words of these rascals. So only thing that is required is punish them. Right? Then Prabhupada says, the greatest rascals in this world, who are they? Prabhupada termed them as demons. Huh? Mayavadis. No, scientists Prabhupada had respect. Mayavadis. Prabhupada said in Queen Kunti's lecture, he said, these rascals, they think that I am God. They say that God has no form. He has no hands, he has no legs. He has no face. Such demons, Prabhupada said, atom bomb is waiting for them. Atom bomb. How many of you remember the 8 divine qualities of Krishna? Please raise your hands. Anybody remembers? How many times I told in the class? Prabhupada explains. I request all of you read the chapter called Prayers by Personified Vedas. At least read at least 10 to 15 times. It's a long chapter, 100 pages, more than 100 pages. The entire Krishna conscious philosophy Prabhupada wrote in that book, in that chapter. Very beautiful chapter. So Prabhupada explains that Krishna is Shadaishwarya Purna. Right? Shadaishwarya Purna. All of you know, right? 6 opulences. And then Asta Divya Gun. Right? Asta Divya Gun. They are the first one is Krishna, he is not touched by any sinful reactions. Apa Viddham. I'm not going to explain because there is not so much to speak. And then number 2, Krishna never becomes old. Right? Number 3, Krishna never dies. Right? Number 3. And number 4, Krishna never laments. Right? Number 5, Krishna doesn't feel hungry. And then Krishna doesn't feel thirsty. 6 ho gaya na? 6. 7th one is all the desires of Krishna are lawful. Right? Number 8, nobody can stop Krishna from what he wants to do. Number 8. These are the Asta Divya Gun. Anybody can repeat? Number 1, Apapa Viddham. Number 2, Krishna never becomes old. Number 3, Krishna never dies. Number 4, he is not subjected to lamentation. Number 5, he doesn't feel hungry. Number 6, he doesn't feel thirsty. And number 7, all his desires are lawful. And then number 7, 8, nobody कोई माइके लाल ऐसा बोलते हैं ना रोक नहीं सकते हैं. Nobody can stop him from doing what he wants to do. He will do whatever I want, right? He wants. Right, number 8. And then Prabhupada explains, all of us know, all of you know, Asta Siddhis, Yoga Siddhis. Right? Asta Yoga Siddhis. Right? Because, Prabhupada concludes, because Krishna is Shadaishwarya Purna, because Krishna has Asta Divya Gun, because Krishna has Asta Yoga Siddhis, he is declared as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Prabhupada writes very beautiful sentence. What is self-realization? You know what is self-realization? Huh? Come on. Huh? Gaurav, what is self-realization? Yeah. So Prabhupada wrote one very beautiful sentence that Krishna is the only worshipable Lord. What? Krishna is the only worshipable Lord. Then everybody should render service to him. When somebody has this understanding, he is a self-realized soul. Right? These Mayavadis, they think that that Krishna has material body. When he comes down to this material world, he has a form made of mode of goodness. Then Prabhupada writes, because anybody who thinks like that, what is that? Yesham tvam antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhadavrata. Right? Prabhupada writes very nicely that somebody whose sinful reactions are not finished, they think that Krishna's body is made of matter. But somebody whose sinful reactions are finished, they understand that Krishna has all these Divya Gunas, Ashtasiddhis and all. Then they render service to him. Then Prabhupada writes beautiful sentence that they are saying, these Mayavadis, they say that Krishna's body is made of matter because they think that in future I can also attain a body made of matter, this mode of goodness, then I can also claim myself to be God. You know? Like that. So this is a very dangerous disease to think that I am God. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it is mentioned that who will get, who will get love of Krishna? Like yesterday, Prabhuji was discussing about Krishna Prema, right? Do you know who will get most Prema? One who is completely free from pride. And the person, it is mentioned that even after going to Golok Vrindavan, even after going to Vaikuntha, two qualities we can keep on increasing. One is more and more surrender, another is humility. Right? Narada Muni explains in Brihad Bhagavatamrita that the more you become surrendered, the more you become humble, the more love of Krishna you will get. And the more love of Krishna you will get, the more bliss you will experience. The gopis, they experience the most highest bliss because they are the most humble. Right? Then what is then Narada Muni explains, what is the symptom of being proud? Right? What is the symptom of being a pride? Having pride. Please note it down. In future we can give up pride. Number one, Narada Muni says that anybody who is practicing yogasanas, anybody who is doing karma, and anybody who is acquiring impersonal knowledge, they are proud. It is a symptom of pride. What is the highest level of, humility? Narada Muni says that the gopis, they have highest level of humility because they think that I cannot render any service to Krishna. I am not fit. I am not capable. I am not qualified to render any service to Krishna. But even the gopas also, they think, it seems, that I can do this service, I can do that service. But the gopis are thinking, I cannot do any service, I am not qualified. That is highest level of humility. And those devotees, they get the highest level of prema. Like that. So, till the time, we have to keep on reducing our pride, then we have to keep on increasing our surrender. We have to keep on, increasing humility. Then the more and more bliss we will get. Like that. That is, so this Paundraka has got this disease, that, and then he is imitating. He was dressing himself as Vasudeva with Pitambar Vastra, Shankachakra Gada Padma, and then all the Kaustuba gem, Srivatsa Anka, right? All this, he was decorating himself like that. How many of you remember? And then this is also very nice, he is imitating Krishna only, right? Right. Like our Kapila Prabhu, myself, we always discuss, sometimes we discuss that that devotees, we all should get Oscar award. You know why? Because we act, for so long we put up an act that I am a devotee. Pretending to be a devotee. But it is good, like that. How many of you remember the story of weaver and carpenter? You remember? Huh? Once you remember? I will briefly narrate the story. Interesting. It is connected to this verse. Once in the kingdom of North, there were two rich men. One is weaver. He used to weave the silk cloths and all. And then another is a carpenter. He used to make very beautiful furniture. And they are very rich. They became very rich. And one day there was a mela in the palace. All kinds of people have come. And then this weaver, where he was wearing very beautiful silk cloth. And then this carpenter also wearing beautiful cloth. And then they went to visit the mela. So in that mela, by Ittefaq, by will of providence, the princess of the kingdom, she visited that place. And then in that, then he saw her. And then she is extraordinarily beautiful. Then his heart sank. He lost his heart. There is a joke, there is in the beginning, when the boy falls in love with that girl and all, he says, dil to pagal hai. Dil to pagal hai. After marriage, they accuse each other, tum pagal hai or tum pagal. Dil to pagal hai. Like that. So, uska dil pagal ho gaya. Then, of course, he is a weaver and then she is a princess. No match. Like that. And then he came back and then he went into depression. Thinking about her and singing songs about her. There are songs, there is no time otherwise. Very beautiful story. Songs also are there. Songs also are there. What he is singing and all that. Then when the carpenter found out, because both the friends used to meet every day, but because this weaver is not coming, and then carpenter came to visit him. Then he was lying on the bed, releasing hot breaths, right? He was in depression, love lorn, not depression, love lorn. Then he said, "What happened? What happened?" And then he told the reason, that I lost my heart. Once, one senior devotee came, in Mangalarti. Then I commented, "You are a heartless person." Heartless person. Then he was looking at me early in the morning. Instead of saying Hare Krishna and all, you are accusing me that I am a heartless person. Then I pointed out on the t-shirt, he is wearing a t-shirt. On that it is written, "I have lost my heart in Vrindavan." We should lose our heart in Vrindavan, not to a girl, So he described. And then he said, "Okay, you don't worry. Because a friend in need is friend indeed. What for, friendship? I will help you get the hand of the princess. Like that. And then he made he's a very expert carpenter. Carpenter. He made a artificial Garuda. And machine, he fitted a machine. Then if he puts some, thing, then it will fly. Then he fitted 4 hands. And then he adorned him with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Sit on this Garuda and fly to the princess' window. And then you tell that your Vishnu, came to receive her hand. So he flew on the artificial Garuda, and then he reached that window of the princess, and then he tapped. Right? And then when the princess opened the window, who is that? Then she was shocked. The Lord Vishnu is standing. Because completely blue, everything. He said, my dear princess, I saw you in the Mela. I have lost my heart to you. I came to bless you. Oh, Lord Vishnu, Narayana, Lord Narayana. Then please be welcome. Then she took him inside. And then both of them did Gandharva Vivaha. And then every day night, he would fly on the Garuda and then go to the princess, and then he would spend time with her. And then early in the morning, before everybody wakes up, he would fly back. And then he was enjoying. And then the gods, they saw that this lady, she is indulging in Ratikeli. Because, when women, they indulge in this, it shows on their face. So she was very happy and smiling to herself and all that. And then they understood that she is indulging in Ratikeli. Then immediately they reported to the king. The king and the queen, they came, said, Kulata. Sometimes in a movie we see, right? The girl, she vomits. And then immediately, father and mother, they keep giving Alice Kulata, Kalmohi, Kulka, Kulapamshini, something like that. They started giving galis and said, then she said, don't, Papa, father, my dear mother, don't worry. Do you know who is who is your son-in-law? Said, who? Said, Lord Vishnu himself. Lord Vishnu himself. Said, really? Then then he embraced, you are so fortunate that then we will get the darshan of Lord Vishnu. Said, tomorrow I will arrange the darshan of Lord Vishnu. So meanwhile, the king of South India, he came. He sent a messenger saying that you have not paid taxes. You have not paid taxes. Said, the king was very proud. He became very proud. Now my son-in-law is my Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is my son-in-law. Why would I pay tax? Right? They said, tell your king and wash my back. So no taxes from now onwards. Then the king of South India is a very cruel man. And then he came with a huge army. And then he told his daughter that please tell your husband that tomorrow there is a fight going to happen, and then he has to fight. And then he declared entire country that, tomorrow Lord Vishnu is going to fight on our behalf. Everybody should come and join the war. And then they became so enthused that even children also, they were joining the war with spoons, sticks, serving spoons. Some of the ladies, they joined with serving spoons and all that. And then there was a hue and cry. Said, Lord Vishnu tomorrow is going to appear in the war and is going to fight. And this fellow, he said, now death has come now. Because he is a viewer, he doesn't know anything. So tomorrow, my truth, my falsehood is going to be exposed. Then he thought, determination high means, let me climb the determination mountain, because anyway, either way I am going to die. Suppose if I go to the war, they is going to kill. If I don't go to the war and declare the truth, that I am not Vishnu, I am a weaver, then anyway the king is going to kill me because I have cheated his daughter. Anyway, let me die in the battle. Those who have positive attitude, Lord Vishnu will help such people, like that. So meanwhile, there is ahakar in Vaikuntha. I said, Garudaji went, said, my dear Lord, something very bad is going to happen tomorrow. He said, what? Then he told that story. Tomorrow, he is going to fight in the Vishnu form. And that king is definitely going to kill this fellow. That king is definitely going to kill this fellow. Then everybody will declare that Lord Vishnu is killed in the war, we can do whatever we want. So there is a danger. So what to do? Lord Narayana, Vishnu said, what to do? He said, what to do? Then you have to go into the war. Then he gave his chakra. And then he told Garuda, you go, you enter that wooden Garuda. Then let this chakra, enter that wooden chakra. And then we will fight. And then so the Garuda came and then he helped that fake Vishnu. And then he released the Sudarshan chakra, and then the Sudarshan chakra killed all the opposing soldiers. And he killed the king. Then everybody celebrated, Lord Vishnu has come and fought. Like that. So the moral of the story is the gods befriend a man who climbs determination's height. Like that. Lord Vishnu's discus drinks in flood, the hostile demons gushing blood, and strikes no mortal flat. The jungle lion who can draw the tusker's life with awful paw disdains to crush a gnat. Not even Brahma sees the end of well-devised deceit. The weaver, taking Vishnu's form, embraced the princess sweet. Like that. So like that, this because he assumed the form of Vishnu, he actually got Garuda and Vishnu Sudarshan chakra and all that. So Putana, simply by imitating to be mother of Krishna, he achieved really she became mother of Krishna, nurse in Vaikuntha. Just imitating. Right? And, Madan Mohan Malaviya, there is one great man, scholar, Vidwan. He once, he came to meet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And he had some doubts. He's a scholar. He had doubts challenging Gaudiya philosophy. He approached Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta told that there are some devotees who are washing pots in the deity kitchen. Go and ask them. They will tell. They will clear your doubts. Then Madan Mohan Malaviya went to the deity kitchen. There devotees are washing the pots. Then he asked, I have some doubts. Then they said, please wait, let us finish this pot cleaning. Then you also help in pot cleaning. So Madan Mohan Malaviya also, he started washing the pots. After the pot washing, then they asked, what are your doubts? Then Madan Mohan Malaviya said, my doubts are cleared by rendering service. Like that. So then he became a devotee, and then he started visiting Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. one day he told Srila Bhaktisiddhanta that I find many hypocrites in your Gaudi Mat. You know hypocrites? Huh? Hypocrites? Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, yes, I know. There are many hypocrites. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Madan Mohan said, you should get rid of them. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, except Gaudi Mat, where else they will get purified of their hypocrisy? Right? Let them render service. Let them be hypocrites and let them render service. One day they will become pure. Right? In the same way, we are imitating Vaishnavas, Mahan. Like once Yaduvar Prabhu was saying, Prabhupada, you said that by chanting Hare Krishna, you will become free from all sinful reactions. Then that time, everybody was having malaria, typhoid, so much suffering is going on. Devotees are sick. Right. Then they asked, Yaduvar Prabhu asked, Prabhupada, why devotees are suffering so much? You said like this. Prabhupada said, don't think that simply by putting tilak and wearing kantimala, you are a Vaishnava. Right? So we are Vaishnava Praya. Right? Pretending to be Vaishnavas. But one day, this acting only will help us to become Vaishnavas. Right? Otherwise, what is the use? Right? Of course, we have to become pure like that. So this disease of Pondraka disease, we should get rid of to think that I am God like that. So it's not very easy. It's not, because that is the last snare of Maya. So another aspect in this there is a description of Krishna's weapons in this verse. Right? He was using Shankha Chakra and then Gada. And in 8th canto Bhagavatam, Lord Narayana, he himself gives Falashruti of the chapter. Which chapter? You know? Gajendra Moksha. Right? Gajendra Moksha. The Lord Narayana says that as soon as you rise early in the morning, you should sit down and think of this pastime. Gajendra, and then crocodile, and the Sarovar, the lotus flowers, and the garden, and then Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. Then in the sky, Lord Narayana sitting on the Garuda, Chaturbuj form, wearing Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. All this, and then Lord Narayana comes and pulls out the elephant from the mouth of the crocodile. Then he kills that crocodile. And then he would make, then before that, when Lord Narayana appeared, for 1,000 years, there was a fight was going on, and then the entire Sarovar and all very disturbed, all the flowers and all, they got decimated. But there is only one lotus flower was left out by Krishna's arrangement. He took that lotus flower and offered to Lord Krishna. Right? And then he completely surrendered. Gajendra's prayers of surrender. Right? You can by heart those prayers. Anybody can take challenge? How many of you agree? Gajendra Moksha's prayers. Very easy prayers, very beautiful prayers. You can by heart them. And then as soon as you wake up in the morning, start offering prayers. You want to take the challenge? So beautiful, beautiful prayers. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya. Swam Shena Sarvatanubrun Manasi Pratita Pratyak Trushe Bhagavato Bruhate Namaste. Right? So very beautiful. Namo Namaste Akila Karanaya Nishkaranaya Adbhuta Karanaya. You know, Vivarjita Agama Maharnave. What is it? Sarvagama Amnaya Maharnave. Namo Apavargaya Parayanaya. Like that, you know, very beautiful prayers. Right? Namo Shantaya Goraya Mudaya Gunadharmine Nirviseshaya Saumyaya Namo Jnanaganaya Cha. Like that. You know, very, you can know the meanings also. So, Prabhupada advises that Krishna, Lord Narayana's four hands, you know, these four, symbols are there. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Right? Gada and Chakra are meant for the demons. And then Shankha and Padma are meant for the devotees. Right? If you're not fond of meditating on the four-armed form of the Lord, because now we love Krishna, we like Krishna's second two-handed form, Prabhupada advises in 4th canto, 24th chapter, that devotees of Krishna, they see the four symbols, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, on the palms of the Lord. Right? We can think of the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma on the lotus feet of Krishna, on the palms of the Lord. So, if you think of this Shankha and Chakra and Gada, they protect us from the demons. And then Shankha and Padma, they increase opulence of devotional service in our heart. Right? This 3rd canto, 28th chapter, this description of the form of the Lord is given by Lord Kapila, right? 3rd canto, 28th chapter, right? So Prabhupada comments on one of these verses that Kaumudike Bhagavato Daitena Smarat Digdam Arati Batashonita Kardamena Malam Madhuvrata Virudha Giropajustam Chaityasya Tattvam Amalam Manirasya Kante. So, Prabhupada, Lord Kapila says that one should meditate on the form of the Lord, who is carrying Kaumudiki Gada. Right? So, Kaumudiki Gada, he is splattered with the blood of the demons. The demons. Then he says, one should meditate on the flower garland of the Lord, which is surrounded by the bumblebees. And then Chaityasya Tattvam Amalam Manirasya Kante. And then the Lord is wearing Manimala, the garland of diamonds, manis. So Prabhupada says that there are two kinds of people. Arati, Digdam Arati. Arati means one who doesn't have taste for Krishna's pastimes. He is Arati. They are demons. Such demons are hit by Lord Krishna's Kaumudiki Gada. So that Gada is always touched with the blood of the demons. So blood of the demons. And Krishna is wearing that pearl necklace or manimala. Those manis, they represent pure living entities. Krishna wears all these pure living entities around his neck as manis. Right? Then in another verse, it is said, Bahubhyam Mandaragire Parivartanena Nirnikta Bahuvalyam Adaloka Palam Sanchintayet Dashashatara Asahya Teja Shankamcha Karapallava Rajahamsa. So Prabhupada says, one should meditate on the form of the Lord, on the four arms of the Lord, who are the source of strength for all demigods in the fight against demons. So he helps the demigods in ruling these planets, those four arms, right? In first canto, 11th chapter also there is one verse, Shriyo Nivasho Yasyoruhu Panapatra Mukam Drusham Bahavo Lokapalanam Saranganam Padambujam. You know, these four arms are meant for protecting the demigods, right? So one should meditate on the four arms of the Lord, you know, Nirnikta Bahuvalyam. And then one should meditate on the Sudarshan Chakra, which has 1000 rims and emanating Asahya Teja. You know, this Sudarshan Chakra emanates such effulgence, which is more effulgent than the hundreds and thousands of sun rays. Right? We have read that in Maharaj Ambarish pastime. You know, when that Sudarshan Chakra was chasing Durvas Muni, it was emanating so much light and heat, like that. So Sudarshan Chakra, you know, Sudarshan Chakra means Sudarshan. Sudarshan Chakra helps us to give us darshan of Krishna. You know, Sudarshan. And then the Shanka. Right? Shanka. How many of you know? 1.14? Huh? Tatasveter Hare Yukte Mahati Syandano Stito Madhava Pandavas Chaiva Divyo Shanko Pradatmatuhu. Right? All of you learn this verse. This verse, if you meditate on this verse, on the meaning of this verse, you know, you will understand entire Bhagavad-gita. The meaning of entire Bhagavad-gita will be revealed in your heart. Right? So this is the Krishna's entry in Bhagavad-gita. Tatasveter Hare Yukte Mahati Syandano Stito Madhava Pandavas Chaiva Divyo Shanko Pradatmatuhu. Right? So we should always think of Krishna, you know, blowing the conch. Right? Blowing the conch. This conch gives us knowledge. Right? Knowledge. Where do we learn this? Dhruva Maharaj. Right? Krishna kept his conch on the head of Dhruva Maharaj, and then immediately entire knowledge is revealed. Then we should pray to Krishna that, my dear Lord, please keep your conch on my head also, so that entire knowledge is revealed in my heart. Right? So it is a very beautiful, beautiful chariot drawn by 4 white horses. Right? 4 white horses. And then Vyasadeva describes in Mahabharata that Krishna's chariot has expanded and entered into Arjuna's chariot, because now Krishna is going to sit. And then Krishna's horses, they have entered the horses of Arjuna's chariot. Now that is where Mahati Syandana Stito. It is described as great chariot. Right? Great chariot. And then Madhava Pandavas Chaiva. Madhava means husband of goddess of fortune. That means victory is definite for Arjuna. And then Divyo Shanko Pradatmatuhu. I will narrate a story. You must have heard before. I told this before in my class, that when Krishna went to rescue his son, the son of his teacher, Sandipani Muni, they said, you know, he was drowned in the ocean, and then he called for the ocean. Immediately the ocean came. Right? So the commentator says, Lord Ramchandra called for the ocean, where he had to wait 3 days, 3 nights, fasting and all. But Krishna said, come, you know. That is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says. So Samandar said, I did not swallow him, that Panchajanya demon, like that. So Vishnu Thakur says, just like Jaya Vijaya, they came, this Panchajanya also came to take part, in the pastimes of Krishna. So that so Krishna killed that Panchajanya. Then he found this conch, Panchajanya, which is his eternal associate. Yeah? But he was doing this pastime. And then he took the conch, and then he found out that the sun was not there. Then he found out that the sun has taken by Yamaraj. Krishna left Balaram behind, then he went alone. So in the Yamaloka, their punishment is going on. 3rd degree or 10th degree, whatever. So all those people who have indulged in illicit sex, they were made to embrace the poles, women's forms made of fire. अभी सॉफ्ट लगता है, लेकिन illicit sex किया तो they have to embrace this women's forms made of fire. And those who have eaten meat, mamsa, especially cow flesh, they were being bitten by ruru snakes, which are thousands of times more poisonous than this cobras. And then those who have not served their parents, they have given up their responsibilities. They were sent to Kumbhipaka hell. There they were being boiled in a very high temperature. Prabhupada said, all these factories are living hells. Right? So in 1992, when I read this, that time I was an engineer. So I said, what Prabhupada is saying, all these factories are living hells. Then, in Severi, there was Dunlop tire factory. I went to check, my job was to quality control check of the, items supplied to the defense. So there, they boil up to very high temperature, it's called, to melt this rubber. And you just can't, if you go near, it is so heat. Right? I used to go to Mahindra engine factory for checking. We used to run the engines for endurance test, 5 hours or 6 hours. The whole engine room used to become hot, and then our ears used to get spoiled. All those engineers who are working there, their ears used to get spoiled because very high speed they used to run the engines. So I used to get boils all over my body because of the heat. Then when I read this, Prabhupada, what you are saying is correct, living hells. Like that. So these living hells, Kumbhipaka hell, they were boiling. And then Hahakar, there was suffering. People are crying, bachao, bachao, bachao. But in Naraka, the people don't get this material body. There is another body, Yatan Sharir. When we get suffering, we faint. But in Naraka, those Yatan bodies, they don't faint. Even that so much pain is there. They have to endure the suffering. Like that. And then millions of these papis, they are suffering. They are being punishment. Then Krishna went and blew the Panchajanya Shank. Right? As soon as Panchajanya Shank was blown and that divine sound went into the ears of those papis, sinners, and immediately they felt as if some sandalwood pulp is applied to their bodies. And to the amazement of Yamaraj and Yamadutas, golden aeroplanes they came. And they took away all the sinners to Vaikuntha. Just by hearing this beautiful divine sound of conch. Right? So that is Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy. Like that Krishna transported millions of people to Vaikuntha, but not to Golok Vrindavan. Right? So that is Krishna. So we should think of this Krishna blowing the conch, Right? For this you can read first canto, 11th chapter. Prabhupada very nicely, beautifully describes that when Krishna enters the Dwaraka, he blew the Panchajanya Shank. When this divine sound spread all over Dwaraka, people are suffering because of melancholy, because they are feeling separation from Krishna. And then immediately, as soon as they heard the conch, divine sound of the conch, Panchajanya conch, immediately people came running, they all got up. Right? So Prabhupada describes very beautifully that when Krishna's hands are reddish, like reddish lotus flowers, and then Krishna's lips are reddish in color, like bimba fruit, and then conch is very white, like a swan. So Prabhupada describes that when Krishna was playing the conch, it looked like Rajahamsa is playing in the stems of red lotus flowers. So beautiful poetry. So this is how we should think of Krishna. Early in the morning we can think. So then Krishna says that Dusswapna fal dosha will go, and then your day will become auspicious. Your day will become auspicious by remembering Gajendra, crocodile, the lake, lotus flower, and Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Krishna sitting on the Garuda, saving Gajendra. It will take 3-4 minutes only. If you remember the pastime, entire pastime, in 3-4 minutes you can recollect the entire pastime. Then while taking bath and all, while brushing the teeth, you can chant the prayers of Gajendra. That's what I do. By the time I wake up, I start chanting the prayers. Then by the time I come back and wear dhoti, I finish chanting all the prayers. Like that day, other day, that Vishwarup Prabhu was saying, that as soon as you wake up in the morning, all those negative thoughts will come. Right? He was saying like that. So, like this, we should think of the form of the Lord, Rupa Saundaryam. Right? So, Prabhupada says that after this, it is given that Paundraka, because he was imitating and then thinking of Vishnu's form, and then he is imitating the Vishnu's form, he got Sarupya Mukti. Because he was constantly thinking and he was imitating the form of the Lord, because of killing by Sudarshan Chakra, whatever contamination is there, he got purified, then he got Sarupya Mukti. Right? So Krishna is all auspicious. Right? That is the explanation of Apapa Viddham. Krishna is never touched by any sinful reactions, and then whoever comes in contact with Krishna, they become purified. However sinful or however contaminated one may be. So, so Paundraka, because of imitating Krishna, he became delivered. So we don't imitate Krishna. We have some love for Krishna. That is why we are here, right? Right? You got love of Krishna? Little, right? How many of you have got love for Krishna? I will ask one more question. How many of you, when you come to the temple, feel that Radharasbihari is very beautiful? So Prabhupada says, the moment you say that Radharasbihari is beautiful, that means your love for Krishna has started arising in your heart. So now, how many of you have got love for Krishna being aroused, started arising? Huh? Buddhu hai, huh? This Prabhupada writes in 3rd canto, 2nd chapter. All those soldiers, all those soldiers who thought as soon as they saw Krishna, they are seeing Krishna for the first time on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, on the chariot of Arjuna. Right? Tataschanye naraloka veera yadahave Krishna mukaravindam netrai pibante nayanabhiramam parthasthaputa padamapnayayat. Beautiful verse. One should meditate on this verse throughout your life. So, chariot, Arjuna was there on the chariot. He is also a beautiful person. And then Krishna is sitting on the, riding the chariot. And then the soldiers, they are, for the first time, they were seeing Krishna. Tataschanye naralokavira. Then, yadahave Krishna mukarvindam. They were looked at the lotus face of Krishna. And then, netrai pibante nayanaviramam. And they are drinking the beauty of Krishna with their eyes. And then Partha, by releasing the arrows in their hearts, he destroyed whatever contaminations there in their heart, because it touched by the pure devotee of the Lord. Right? And immediately the golden aeroplanes, they were coming and taking them back to Godhead. So Vaikuntha Airways aeroplanes, they are always lazy. Pilots, they don't have roster, duty roster, because nobody was going to go Vaikuntha. But during 18 days, they were doing overtime, Vaikuntha Airlines, because they were transporting 64 crores. Can you imagine? In 18 days, 16.4. So Prabhupada writes that though all those soldiers and kings who have appreciated Krishna's beauty, so for them, love has arisen in their heart. Such people, they were sent to Vaikuntha. And those people who are neutral, they got Sahajya Mukti. Right? So Prabhupada writes in third canto that simply coming into the temple and appreciating Radharasbihari's beauty. Oh, kitna andar, kitna sundar hai, kitna. Right? कुछ लोग नजर निकाल देते हैं, नजर लग जाएगा, right? ऐसा करते हैं, इतना सुंदर है, इतना smiling है. So simply by appreciating Krishna's beauty, we will our love for Krishna will increase. That is why when we come to the temple, we should not look here and there what others are doing. We should only look at Radharasbihari. How? Very good. Madhurikshana. We should make our eyes into bumblebees and drink the beauty of Rasbihari, lotus flower. Right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Any questions? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, my question is regarding the 15th verse. In 15th verse, it is mentioned that Paundraka got the benediction from Lord Shiva. So he got the benediction to look like the Lord. And so he was knowing that he got it from Lord Shiva. And then in the second verse of this same chapter, it is mentioned that people used to, do flattery over him. And so he thought that, yes, he is the real Vasudeva. Obviously, Paundraka was not an ordinary person. He brought 2 Akshohinis, Sena, to fight with Lord Krishna. So how do you understand him?
Ordinary people, they present demons are died of corona, right? Krishna is not coming. These demons, they are very powerful, Unless somebody is very powerful in austerity, they don't get a chance to meet with Krishna and fight also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Dobi, who had a meeting with Krishna, chance meeting with Krishna, he did tapasya for 10 million lifetimes. Then he got audience with Krishna. So they are not ordinary. Ordinary people, they don't get a chance to fight with Krishna. And this guy is also not an ordinary demon. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, in previous chapter we hear the fight between this Badasur and...
What is that? What is that?
Last chapter, fight between the Krishna and Badasur in that. So that Shivajura is contracted by this Narayan Jura, and by nature that Narayan Jura is very excessive cold. So this Sudarshan Chakra is different weapon or something same? So generally we don't hear that Narayana Jura Krishna hold somewhere in any hand. So that is...
Narayan Jara is mantra.
And the Sudarshan Chakra is by nature it is heat. It is too hot.
It produces heat, unlimited heat. So this Narayan Jara is a mantra. You chant that mantra and then Narayan Jara will act. You take an arrow, then you chant that mantra and then release. That is Astra.
Another question, regarding that Mahabharata Yuddha, you told all these soldiers who saw Krishna, they got liberation. So many claim that this other god, but this Pandavas, they went to hell because of fighting that, take part in that battlefield. So is it that like Pandavas, they visited hell or something happened? Is it?
Because Yudhishthira, they say that Yudhishthira Maharaj disobeyed Krishna's instruction to tell a lie. That's why they had to visit hell. But there is no loss. When Yudhishthira Maharaj entered hell, all the sinners, they felt that sandalwood pulp is applied to their bodies. So there is no loss. No, what is that verse? Swarga Aparganarke Narayana Para Sarve. So for devotees, it doesn't matter. They go to hell. Once one Mataji was asking Prabhupada, can we distribute books in hell? Prabhupada said, you are already doing it. Again she asked, that is in London temple. Prabhupada, my question is, can we distribute books in hell? Prabhupada said, you are already doing it. Again, when she was able to ask, one devotee corrected her. Prabhupada is saying, London city is a hell.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yesterday, the way you were asking questions to Hari Parshad Prabhu, some of the devotees, we felt that very encouraging that such a senior devotee, you are asking questions to Prabhuji, that inspires the devotees to ask questions. So I would like to hear a comment from you about, I heard this conch shell is still there. That conch shell of Krishna is
Panchajanya?
Still
there?
I heard it is still there in some bank.
Where? In Dwarka?
Somewhere in Andhra Pradesh, I heard in somewhere it is.
ऐसे ही स्टोरीज बनाते हैं. दे नो गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज का समाधि है, नवद्वीप में भी दिखाते हैं. वो पैसा वसूल करने के लिए वो लेके गया होगा अपने साथ, राइट?
And Hrudaya of, there is a, in YouTube, it's quite popular. Hrudaya of Krishna is still there karke. Heart of Krishna in Jagannath Puri. Any?
It's all bogus. There is one Oriya poet told all this. That that what that Brahma, Nabi Brahma. They say that during the renovation, the Navakalevara time, there the pujari, he closes, he wears a patti on his eyes, and then he goes inside the dark room, and then he takes out the Nabi Brahma and again installs. And then what is that Nabi Brahma? They say that Krishna's body, that is the remnants of Krishna's body left by when he was so-called killed. These are all Kalpanik stories. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna, went, right, with self-same body, like that. And then some say that he left a body made of Maya, looking like him. So, where is the question of Krishna's Hridaya or whatever?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Prabhu ki jai.